Welcome back to Philippine Antics, and today we're going to talk about...
Boredom.
Now I'm bored of you. You bore me. Break out the board games. Board games. Anyways, we brought a lot of board games when we've got like cards, board games, Monopoly. You know what we haven't broke out in a long time? That Pac-Man game. We've seen it, but we've never actually played the Pac-Man game. But when you're in Angeles City or the Philippines and you're retired, you could even be just vacationing and you're going to deal with, like, boredom will come. But on the other hand, there's been a large debate with the expats and Filipinos alike that time zooms here. Although they're on Philippine time and things go by island time and you gotta chill and try to take your time on things, things are done a different way here. Time has zoomed by. I mean, one day you blink and like a week has gone by, and we talked about that the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there is a lot of activities that you can do here. A lot of people come here, they do like the shopping and visiting family. You mentioned they go on the outskirts and they start visiting places. Like there's a couple resorts that we know of that has like they call it the ATVs, like the four-wheeling. They go four-wheeling. They've got animals and
Right.
farms. You said they had Pinatubo.
Yeah, you can go out on an expedition, which means basically you're gonna hire a guide with you, and you're gonna go into. Basically, you hire a driver slash guide. You'll go into his 4x4 Jeep, and then your guys are gonna drive up to literally Mount Pinatubo, and from there you're gonna do a hike up to the Pinatubo crater, and that's probably the best view of Pinatubo there is. You're gonna be looking at this jade green lake. It's very gorgeous. It's a very beautiful sight to see. Definitely a must do when you're down here.
It is, and there's a lot to actually do, but boredom will quickly set in. There are movie theaters, they've got malls, enjoy the ice cold air that is free. They have massage shops inside there. They've got all the accessories of, like, you can get your nails done, you can get foot massages, you can set up other vacations. They've got like agencies that you can actually go to other places. People do take trips. There's a lot of buses that leave the actual mall, the Marquee Mall. You could set just to go to Manila. I think give or take, it's like 10, 15 US dollars to actually go to Manila. Go into Manila and do some stuff. Do things at home, with your person. You could sit around like we do. We do popcorn night with movies. We actually have where we play Monopoly all the time. We're still in one that's been going on since Mexico. That's a year and a half that game's been going on. Like, we break it out for a little bit like a chess game. So we're actually, going to do it now. You get into just other hobbies. Some people get into doing some artwork. They get back into music. What are some other things that people do?
Well, there's a lot of things you can do. Cycling is one of them. It's actually very popular
Yes.
around here.
It is very popular.
Okay, but remember, when you go into cycling, don't skimp out on your equipment.
Right. They have tennis, plenty of
Tennis, squash.
and they have golfing. So they have where you can go out and actually golf.
They have skate parks.
They have skate parks, they have parks, they have festivals. My goodness, take a look at this shot here of the festivals. With the Christmas festivals going on, they have like tons of food and lights and rides and karaoke. Speaking of which, I don't know if you guys can hear that. They love to karaoke and videoke. So there's a lot of bars here in Angel City where they have like where you can see yourself with the video. I've never personally done it, but karaoke is a big thing. Like the last place that we went to when we did the meet and greet, they had like where you can grill the food, but they had people singing at the same time. They have where they karaoke. That is very popular here too.
Yeah, that's popular everywhere.
It's popular everywhere. So what else goes on here?
And you're never it pretty much, for the most part, anywhere where there's civilization in the Philippines, you're never really too far from the beach.
Yes, there's always, what is the beach areas here on the edge?
Well, you go to Pangasinan. They're about an hour and a half away. But
Yeah.
usually, again, unless you're like in the heart of a jungle somewhere, you're about an hour and a half away or 2 hours away from a beach, tops.
Where's where they were thinking about opening up the base again?
That's Subic Bay.
Subic Bay is
Olongapo.
nearby. Olongapo is nearby. There's some resorts out there. Oh my God, tell you a quick story about that. We were going to see about going out there when the country first opened, and we ended up going. Oh my God, I can't stop thinking about the fan. They had a fan at one of the hotels. They had no AC. They just had fans only. and it was more like a little hut thing, and they wanted like $100 right at the height of what they called the pandemic here. And it was like right at May. If you remember, it was like April, May, and we were going to go to Longapo, and I was like, oh, I want to go. And George says, I don't know about that. You know, it was still hard to get rides places. They had locked down a lot of the areas. And I was like, oh, I was just itching to get out. But it's a place that we will be seeing. We're hoping, and just do some travel. Think about Southeast Asia. There's a lot of places you can go to. Your passport is open, you know, make sure your spouse can actually travel, because there may be limits. So you want to pre-apply exit clearances and everything. All the immigration is straight with you guys. Russia is nearby. What a place to be, back in the USSR. Back in the USSR. You don't know how lucky you are. Back in the USSR. Anyways, I'll be glad to get back to the USSR. So, and then they have, besides Russia, they don't call it the USSR anymore, do they?
No, because
that just aged me, didn't it? Pretty much.
Yes, because it broke up, and therefore it's not a USSR anymore. USSR. Yes.
Okay. So, what else they got going on? Australia?
Yes, Australia. Well,
Japan,
Thailand's right around the corner.
Thailand's around the corner. I'll throw Singapore out there, but I'm gonna skip Singapore because I already know way in advance how expensive. So if you got a heavy cash flow, then that you can go see Singapore.
Well, and yeah, you can go see Singapore. Just be aware of the rules are more stricter there than most countries.
Yeah, guys, I just can't get past the prices in the grocery stores. It's 3 times almost the price of the U.S. I mean, it was like their cottage cheese was like $9. I'm like, yeah, and dairy's expensive here, so that's actually going to happen. But get around and see Southeast Asia and some of the countries. It just hit me like a few months after we were here. I was like, oh my God. And George says, well, yeah, Australia's right there. And I'm like, because there's a lot of Australians here. And I'm like, why are there so many Australians? George goes, because it's like right here. And so you just don't realize how many countries are nearby. And we intend to actually do that. I'm getting ready to officially file my 13A, so I have to kind of stay put now for a year. I can travel within the country, but right now I'm going to focus on the holidays and everything else before we're traveling. But guys, there's so much to do here, and always check out the areas nearby. And if not, there's always people and a good old-fashioned beer and a sit down. They got pool tables. And they have the where is the best steak at again? The American Legion or
VFW.
The VFW. There's like so much that's actually going on.
Yeah, if you're in Angeles City, go to the VFW if you want some really good steak.
They got car shows that go on here. Everything. I feel like I am in the U.S. in the 80s. There's always something going on. There's always a market. So we're looking into getting an e-bike here, maybe around New Year's Eve. And so we could start getting out and seeing these little things because, like I said, it just got to get out. Avoid kind of sitting still. We try to do something every day, and that way there's some sort of activities, and we just stay busy. But my gosh, the time is passing. How do you feel about the time? How quick it's going by?
It does.
Since you've been retired.
But you guys have to realize that, in all honesty, when you come to the Philippines, try to get out of the house.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that, first off, most of life will pass you by if you don't. For instance, like I even told Heidi, this scheduled brownout. Even if I don't go on Facebook, I would already know about it only because I go out and talk to the people.
Yeah, you got to get out and talk to the people.
You got to go out and talk to the people. Also, this is how you know about festivals and
it is.
events.
Well, it was just like, it was Chubbs. It's another vlogger that we think has a great channel also. Check his channel out. And he hit and 3 days in a row, he ended up at some sort of car show, and he's always like at some event, and I'm like, how come we didn't see this on Facebook? How come I didn't see it on this? And George says, you got to get out. And I'm like, well, I hear you, man. I don't want to burn up to a crisp out there in the sun, but I get you on that. So, I mean, I've had my limitations because of my lupus, and a lot of you, we get it also, are going to be over the age of 60, probably 50, 60. We just happened to retire early because of the pandemic. Check out a About Us video that we just released. But you still want to get out. You can meet people. Some people find the love of their lives after all these years,
right.
And maybe you can too, babe.
Now, to provide you guys an air of caution, and this is very important because a lot of people have assumptions, and this is a very simple but crucial mistake anybody can do in the Philippines. When you get to a destination, it doesn't mean, let's say you went to a destination via cab. there's a very good chance you won't be able to get out of that destination with a cab.
Check it out. I'm going to put in the description. I'm going to put, I think it's called Rio to something. I can never remember the name of it, but when you put in, if you're going from Angel City to Cebu, it'll give you like 5 possibilities and an ideal in the time frame. I'd probably double it. If it says an hour, figure 2, especially during certain traffic. But it does tell you it takes 2 ferries and this and that. But I would go one step further and check on that, because a lot of people feel they can come in through Manila and they're going to wait on a bus, and they come in at like 2 in the morning. Those buses aren't always available.
Check
Them
how to get
trikes.
to the location, get out of the location. It's not necessarily the same exact way.
Traffic and transportation does become a problem here more than any country that I've ever seen, because it could be those little trikes that you took up out of here into the bus, and that once you get to Cebu in a certain area and the trike drops you off, that trike will not be there to pick you up. They don't always hang in those areas, so only in the
Same
main
thing with
areas.
cabs and grabs. Like, there are no grab zones in a lot of places.
Well, we checked for
and no cab zones.
I checked for a grab in an area that was less than 38 minutes away, and they won't go. It says it's not available.
And that's another thing. For instance, you say it is a cab zone, meaning the cabs do go there. Your cell phone might not be working in that area, meaning you can't call a cab.
Yeah, so you could actually lose service too. And so then the best thing to do if you guys get stuck, just get a hotel. You're always going to find a place. There's always a room to rent for the night or a hotel. And I would chill and try to figure your way up out of there and talk to the people. That's how you're actually going to get...
Talk to the people. That's the best way.
Yeah, so get to know the people and find your destinations. Don't lie dormant. Do something, get into baking or join a community. There's a ton of communities. There's one for just women and guys and single guys, and join a club and go and do that. But get to know the people. If you just step outside your door, you can start talking to people and go for walks and hit those markets. But time
Sit
will
around
fly.
the corner, drink with the neighbors all day.
Did we find you a home yet? Anyways, guys, thank you for joining us today. We wanted to let you know that you may get bored. There's always something to do. It's the same as the US and the UK and places around the world. Nothing has changed, but when you're retired, time will fly. And don't wait to retire. I want to give that last piece of advice, because a lot of people, me and George was talking about this, and we may get other vloggers or kickbacks on this. Well, I'm going to wait for that few $100s more, and I'm going to wait another 5-6 years to retire. I'm going to wait another 2 years. To me, guys, it ain't worth it. Me and George we've done our budget on $1,200 a month in the Philippines. Now, do we get to do a ton of extra stuff? No, we do rely on the YouTube and generosity, where people send money to our PayPal to help support where we go do things and everything. But if you wait, look up the statistics, and the real statistics. If you wait, you only get like an 8 to 10 year period before, God forbid, you guys pass away. So the longer you wait, there could be actual problems. I say you guys go for it. That is, live your life, go for it. Do your retirement now. And now they're getting ready to add 8 or 9% on the Social Security. So grab your Social Security and your pensions, but make sure you have that residual income when you come here. Just don't come here because you have $10,000 in the bank and 2 years left. Now, we ain't advising on that situation, because you get that girlfriend, you get a habit of playing golf or another habit, and then your money is el zilcho. And then you're waiting. We've had that happen to a few expats. But we say if you've got it now or can apply for it, and you guys can have an income, we say $1,000 a person. So really, we're not even living on $1,000 a person. We're only living on less than 12. But that's the basics, foods, paying for the animals and everything. The YouTube is just icing on the cake for us. And our bills are paid, and we sleep well at night. That's for sure. We don't have to worry in our retirement, and we retired early, both of us under 50. When I arrived here, when we started in Mexico, I turned 50 while we were there, and I just turned 51. So technically, we were both retired under 50. We went to Mexico first. Get around, see the world, get out. What do you say, George? Just go for it.
Retire now, guys. Retire now. Don't wait for the golden years.
Don't wait, guys. So as we always say, guys, if you have any questions, email us. Show them where the emails are. Make the comments, guys. Comment. Be sure to turn on notifications when you guys subscribe. Look for our future videos. We're here to help. We answer a lot of emails. We will get to you. Check out Facebook. We're on Facebook. We're on Snapchat. We're on TikTok. We do our funny side and raw side there. Guys, just check us out and give us a chance. We do appreciate you guys being here. You guys are the best. We have the best people and the best watchers. Thank you. And as we always say, keep your heads up and your hearts open. And we will see you soon
in the Philippines.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye, guys. I want to retire. Are you retired?
I am.
I know.
I'm still working. I have a business to run.
You do. You got to sell those t-shirts, create those t-shirts, fold those t-shirts. And you got to take care of the new puppies and the kitties
Yeah.
and dishes.
Yeah.
You're on dish patrol.
Buy my shirts at the corner of Walking Street.
You better stay off of Walking Street. Stay away from Walking Street. Bye.
Oh no, anxiety creeps up on me. Is this how it's supposed to feel? Tell me when it's over. I got someplace that I gotta be. It won't leave. My friends say, get out of your comfort zone.